Good evening, and thank you for clicking on my channel once again. I'm Roman, and today we are going to talk about Oh, What Fun. This is a holiday comedy which came out this year. It stars Michelle Pfeiffer, Dennis Leary, Chloe Grace Moretz, um, a few other people that I'm not very familiar with, as well as Eva Longoria, who plays a talk show host named Zazie Timms. That is the most horrible name. I'm just going to throw that out there. But other than that, the premise is Claire, who is played by Michelle Pfeiffer, plans a special Christmas but is forgotten by her family. When they realize that she's missing, their holiday is at risk until she returns to give them the celebration they deserve. So, just watched it. I have thoughts, comments, concerns. Overall, I thought the movie was pretty good. It's a movie that, as far as like a Christmas film, um, haven't seen one like it. Because this is where, like, the mother, the woman, the wife is up front and focus. And literally, what she says in the movie is very true, you know? Mothers and wives are pretty much like the behind the scenes character. No one ever talks about them, which is very sad but true. It's always the focus on like Santa Claus or the men in the family, you know, like It's a Wonderful Life or um Elf, Home Alone, you know, all those movies where it's men driven. And she's kind of had it up to here with not feeling acknowledged, feeling seen, um, anything you can think of. Like she's just not being like her presence is there, you know. Um, so she throws out a hint. Sends out text messages to her kids. She has three kids, and saying she wants to be nominated um, for the Zazie show, basically like Mother of the Year, and why is she being nominated, all that kind of stuff, blah blah blah. Well, they do not nominate her. Shocker. Um, and she even buys tickets to this dance show, which by the way is a little provocative if you're sending kids to this show. Um, but other than that, like they forget her. This is Christmas Eve, by the way. Because she goes to her neighbor's house and gives her a gift, and they leave. Like they don't. It's like that is like that Home Alone instance where it's like you should probably count your family before you leave, basically, right? So that happens. Had it up to here. She packs her bags. She leaves. First, she just kind of like checks into a hotel, have something to eat at the like a diner or something that's nearby. Um, she ends up having to share a room with a perfect stranger. Um, the stranger is very noisy, so then she just hops into her vehicle. The vehicle gets taken away, and so then she has to end up buying a used car. Um, then she's like, fuck it, let me go to California by myself. Does that um, ends up on the show. They don't know who she is, and she's like, "How did you get here? What brought you here?" Blah blah blah. And then, lo and behold, she starts talking to Eva Longoria's character, which is Zazie, and the family sees her on there, and it's like, "What?" And yeah, the family is very dysfunctional, by the way, um, which is, I think, it's what you want in a family comedy movie. Because, like, what family's perfect? Nobody's, right? Nobody's family is perfect. So, um, the oldest daughter, she's married, has kids. She's trying to have her shit together. But she kind of despises her mother because she's mostly like her and she wants her approval most of all. The middle daughter, who is played by Chloe Grace Moretz, um, is a lesbian, but she ends up having a different relationship every year. She can't seem to get it together. The baby child, who is the son, the only son, um, has a part time gig, and he also can't seem to get it together. The husband, um, I don't know, typical husband just, I think expects too much out of the wife and doesn't show appreciation as well. Um, Trying to think what else. Um, yeah, I know. Michelle's character, Claire, she's trying to be that perfect wife, mother, trying to make sure the house, everything is just perfect and taken care of. Again, everybody takes it for granted and nobody shows appreciation. It's typical. I think my only comment that was just unbelievable, if I may say this, the car that she bought and quote unquote driving it from Texas, because apparently this is filmed in Houston, or takes place in Houston. Probably not filmed in Houston, but takes place in Houston. Driving this, I don't know how old, maybe 70s vehicle, not even getting it checked out, driving it all the way from Texas to California and making it just fine. I find it very hard to believe. Because it's old, it's used. You don't know if it needs any work done. And that, to me, is like, eh, all right, we're going to believe that. But I guess we're going to believe that because it's a movie and everything is. It's like, sure, sure, you know? And my hair's a mess, so that's why I'm got the hat on. But yeah, it's just like, why not? We're going to buy that. And, um, but yeah, um, the neighbors across the street are Asians. I think she's married to a white man, so maybe like these kids are like half white, half Asian. They all look Asian to me, but that's neither here or there. They also are trying to have like seem like that had they had their shit together, the perfect family. Outside, inside, they're also a mess. Um, but that's why you don't judge a book by its cover, right? Um, um, there was a scene where, where the neighbor, the mother, comes and drops a gift to Claire, and it was a candle. It was a 3-wick candle. She had the same candle for her, but it was only a 1-wick candle. She's like, I can't give this to her when she gives me a 3-wick candle. So she goes shopping at the Galleria and tries to find something more than a 3-wick candle. She finds it. She's like, I'm not standing in line. She steals it, having all security probably in the mall to try to capture her. But she does get away, but then she's like, you can't give her something that's stolen. So she ends up not doing that and just gives her some, what looks like peppermint bark. I don't know. But yeah, overall, like out of 10, I think I'd give it but a 7 out of 10. It was a decent holiday film. Michelle Pfeiffer, she always looks great. I think she's what, in her 60s, I think. Um, I don't know, a lot of people are giving it lower than that. Like I think it so far it's got like a 5.3 out of a 10. Like some people, this one gave it a 5, saying it wasn't terrible, but it was far from perfect. Look, we have to lower our expectations for holiday movies. They need to be predictable, formulaic, and happily ever after. That's where I disagree with that. I hate predictable holiday movies because it's so cliche. It's like you're watching a fucking Hallmark movie, and they're so predictable. Um, this it's just anyway. Continuing on, just like on a Hallmark level, this would be an 8 out of 10, but it's not a Hallmark. It has a big cast, so the stakes are higher. This movie would have been so much more. I am thinking adventures of babysitting type adventures. What if the story revolved around the adventure, Claire getting into all sorts of unexpected situations with people she'd likely never had met, with very short cutaways to the family fumbling through Christmas without her. I'd like to have seen more connection with Danielle Brooks. That I'd probably agree with because she had a very short scene. Um, for example, I mean, why didn't they ask each other names? Why couldn't they have enjoyed a movie together in a strange hotel room? Leaning into ridiculousness in their situation. I didn't understand the scene toward the end with Lagoria and her staff and Claire. It felt awkward overall, though the actors were so good in this movie, which is why it gets the 5 stars from me. The problem was the plot line. It was weak. I did not empathize with Claire at all. She seems so self absorbed, and I would have liked to see her learn a lesson too, somehow along the journey, finding out that doing things for the sake of doing things, not because she's entitled to gratitude, is what love is all about. Meh. Okay. So I somewhat agree with that. Um, she kind of was a little self absorbed, but at the same time, she's doing everything for her family and not. I know you're not supposed to want or need anything in return, but it's just like she's not feeling acknowledged. She's not um, feeling appreciated. Almost like she doesn't exist, which is why, like, this is the only thing she wanted was to be nominated, and didn't happen. Anyway, um, what else? This one, it gets lower. One is a 4. More sad than funny. Oh, what fun leans far more sad than funny, and not in a satisfying way. Michelle Pfeiffer does okay, but she is not the warm motherly type, so this feels like a huge miscast. The film leans so heavily on constant narration to explain characters and motivations, then it starts to feel lazy. If you have to spell everything out instead of showing it, you're making the movie the wrong way, and this one never quite finds its footing. Okay, I don't disagree with that. This one is a 3, talent wasted. One wonders if the script was changed after actors Pfeiffer and Leary signed on to this disaster of a movie. In fact, you could have deleted Leary and the movie wouldn't even change. Pfeiffer plays on overworked mother who doesn't even ask for help so she gets what she deserves. As if your adult kid couldn't help you with the holiday meal or even set the table. And why don't they recommend her to be on a TV show is a surprise, predictable and not in a good way. um, I don't know. The story. Let's see. This one says, um, "This is an Amazon movie. Before we watched it, it looked few user reviews, especially the several one ratings, and now I can say with authority they are all bogus. It is as if they didn't even watch the movie." Ha ha. The star is 60 something Michelle Pfeiffer as Claire, the mom with grown children, set in Houston but filmed in Georgia. That's crazy. Every year she works hard for Christmas, gathering for her family, grown kids and grandkids, but the Christmas after she gets tickets for all the dance, blah blah blah. I already mentioned that. The only part in the movie I didn't like was the terrible family dynamics. The first 30 to 45 minutes, bad will and bickering occurred between most of them. But other than that, especially with the last half hour or so, this is mostly a fun, entertaining movie. The message about neglected moms and worthwhile rule one. Uh, oh, the shameless product placement with the brand of monochrome candles that were being gifted. Yeah, I kind of still like 5, 6, around that era of like how I would rank it. Um, yeah, it was again, it was okay. I don't consider it a bad movie. I've seen much worse. But I don't know. I think that's the thing. Like when you're doing a holiday movie, and there's been so many countless holiday movies, and you either gotta stick with the formula, or you're gonna have to um, kind of drive away from it and make it something that no one's ever seen, but make it clever and something that people will want to watch. But again, my problem with these movies, we have so many classics, from Home Alone to Miracle on 34th Street to even animateds like The Grinch, A Charlie Brown Christmas, things, excuse me, things that have meaning to them, even if it's a nostalgia situation. But if you keep coming up with stuff that, again, is so cliche, like, oh my God, Hallmark, can we get it together? Who comes up with this shit? Seriously. I can't sit there and watch another Hallmark film. I refuse. I refuse. Um, but this one, I felt it. I think it was just enough to be different, but also it shows some compassion to the mothers out there because they are the backbone. They are um, the ones that are basically behind the scenes doing everything without getting any acknowledgement, any love, any help. It's like you shouldn't even have to tell them to help you. They should say, "Hey, mom, do you need some help? Do you know, not to make this about me, but If my mom was still alive to this day, I would ask her, "Hey, mom, first of all, I love you. And second of all, do you need any help?" First of all, I think that's because we were raised like that. And then um, it's just common courtesy, you know? But anyway, um, but yeah, the movie was fine. Would I make it one of my year round holiday films I'm going to rewatch? Probably not. But that's what my channel is about, reviewing, ranking, and telling you guys if it's worth watching. Now, again, that's up to you if you feel like watching it. I can't make you watch it, but it's up to you. Now, with that being said, please do me the solid of clicking like, subscribe, and please, by all means, tell me what you want to see from me. Let's have a bonding situation here, okay? I mean, we can be friends. We can talk. Have a little back and forth. Have a little community. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that is that. It's getting a little late for me to be a little munching on something, but I'm a little hungry. So I'm gonna try to find something and bid you adieu. Till next time.